brainwave migration between the program and the host. Connection established. Hello, can you hear me? Excellent. The simulation appears to be working, just as Dr. Amari said it would.
The following occurred in the months leading up to the Great War over 200 years ago, when the fear of nuclear annihilation was growing ever more prominent. You'll be witness to the origins of the Brotherhood of Steel and how Captain Roger Maxson, ancestor of Arthur Maxson, came to be its founder and first High Elder.
See if you can find the first event node I've set up for you. Should be just ahead.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Another batch of prisoners so soon? I could have swore we were at capacity.
Commie sympathizers, probably. Or worse, deserters.
Why don't you ask them?
Decorum, Sergeant. These prisoners are under our protection. Besides, Alan, you might have gone AWOL too without that tin can to protect you.
Oh, what, this old thing? My Uncle Sam gave it to me. You hear that, comrade? Made in America.
The men serving under Roger Maxson likely fought alongside him during the Resource Wars. Needless to say, they would have harbored no love for the communist Chinese or those who sympathize with them. Many in the Brotherhood of Steel can trace their ancestry back to the military grunts serving at Mariposa. In this, they take great pride. Roger Maxson was second in charge of a security team assigned to guard Mariposa. The Codex doesn't explicitly tell us what year Roger was born. We can assume he must have been about 27 years old at the time, given the median age of captains serving in the U.S. Army before the Great War. Construction on California's newest military base began in October 2076. Someone high up in Washington must have had a reason for speeding things up, because it was completed no more than a few months later.
Would test subject 119 please step forward? That one.
Your cooperation is requested. Do not be alarmed.
Sergeant Planter,
Captain Maxson! Sir!
got a new group of prisoners coming in. Any room?
Yes, sir. Plenty of space for them.
You're at the end of a double shift, right?
Everyone would rather be at the front gate, and the other guys just don't like playing prison guard, sir.
Who did you relieve last night, Sergeant?
That would be Lieutenant Santangelo, sir.
As you were. And Planter? Radio me when they bring that prisoner back out.
Yes, sir.
These days in the wasteland, law and order is a precious thing, never taken for granted. When in tamer lands like the NCR, the Legion, and the Brotherhood's capital wastes, laws only apply within the major settlements. But before the war, the government enforced the law on every inch of American soil. Some crimes were punished with only a brief stay in a cell like this. But people who were disloyal to their country during a time of war were punished harshly. The lucky ones got to die of old age in prison. Others had more gruesome and immediate fates.
And you were on guard duty last night?
Am I in trouble, sir? Colonel authorized me to take today off to work on the new suit. I thought maybe I could...
You're not in trouble, Lieutenant.
Phew, that's a relief.
Can you tell me if any of the scientists sent any prisoners back up to holding last night?
No, Captain. I don't think that happens anymore.
Ever?
I mean, I've never seen a prisoner come back up the lift. Well, then again, there was this one time the elevator broke and I fixed it in a valiant display of heroism. Other than that, though, no. The underground Einsteins must have a lot of space down there.
Could you do me a favor, Lieutenant?
Captain?
I want you to ask the other guards about the last time they saw a prisoner leave the lower blocks. Could you do that for me?
Yes, sir.
Good. I'll check in with you later.
These suits were intended for the front lines, where they would go up against Chinese tanks, combat robots, and masses of infantry, using firepower soldiers couldn't carry otherwise. However, they weren't just used in Alaska or China. They were used all over the country for homeland security as well, intimidating prisoners, quelling riots, and pacifying occupied territories, frequently against unarmed civilians. Look at that! A brand new suit of T-51B armor shipped straight from the factory. The 51s were the best line of pre-war armor. Some say the 60s were, purely because of the armor plating. But these were fundamentally upgraded T-45s. The bean counters in the Pentagon rightly wanted to keep the 10-year-old suits in service, but they inherited all the same problems of suits using last-generation tech.
Permission to speak freely, sir.
Denied, Captain. I know what you're gonna ask, and I can't tell you any more than I already have. The less we ask, the less we leak out to the Chinese. Now, do you have any questions I can answer, Roger?
We keep bringing new prisoners onto the base, but the commissary says we aren't using any more food than we did a month ago. By my count, we should have been feeding 100 more mouths for the last month. Should I notify the...
You're clever, Maxon. I'll give you that. You should consider getting into politics, son. America loves a war hero. Ah. You know, those patriotic prisoners have volunteered to aid the defense of the United States in exchange for a reduced sentence. Given what's happening around Beijing, I'd say they're the lucky ones.
Colonel, we don't know what's happening below. But don't you think we could all be held responsible if...
Don't make me pull rank, son. If I knew anything, I couldn't tell you. So do ask, but don't investigate. You and the rest of your Alaskan band of brothers have one job. To keep your eyes fixed on that front gate. Lady Liberty wants us at the ready.
Yes, sir.
We few. We happy few.
The nature of what they were protecting was a closely guarded secret. But today, we know the truth all too well.
Please!
Damn it, Dr. Shellman. This is the 5th time we've changed the sedative, and they keep waking up. We need to rule out stress as a factor.
The Forced Evolutionary Virus, or FEV, was Mariposa's dark secret. Its effects can still be felt across the wasteland today.
Sir, Sergeant Planter is missing.
What?
Private Jensen went to relieve him from guard duty in the holding cells this morning. He wasn't there.
And the prisoners?
Secured. Sergeant Planter must be in the lower blocks, sir. With the scientists.
What? The lower blocks are completely off limits. What makes you think he'd be there?
We have this base locked down tighter than Fort Knox. He's got to be in the only place we don't have eyes.
Calling Dr. Anderson. This is Colonel Spindell. Dr. Anderson, this is Colonel Spindell. Please report. Dr. Von Felden, Dr. Anderson, this is Colonel Spindell. Report!
Sir, allow me to...
Captain, I want this base on lockdown until further notice. No personnel enters or leaves without my direct authorization. Do you understand?
Sir, I...
Dismissed, Captain.
We don't need to pussyfoot around this, Captain.
We did rule out every other possibility.
It's been 4 hours! Look, I get it. Those eggheads in the lower blocks don't like to socialize, but this is fucking ridiculous. We haven't heard a damn thing!
Yeah, but the orders are orders. The Colonel...
Our brother is missing. What's supposed to be a secured military base. Captain, I don't understand why we aren't going apeshit right now.
The Colonel's acting command. However, the ultimate authority does lie with Washington. The standing orders are to keep unauthorized personnel out of the lower blocks. So, I suppose you could make the argument that...
Sergeant Allen. Quietly gather a few good men and meet me in the holding cells. Corporal Lyons, you go with him.
Yes, sir.
And Allen, bring Uncle Sam's tin can with you.
Yes, sir.
What's the meaning of this? Get out of here this instant!
Remain calm. This is military business.
Someone get the Colonel down here immediately. How did you get past the photonic resonance barriers? Who's the commanding officer here?
Captain Roger Maxon. Doctor, I believe one of our men might have stumbled into this part of the base. I'm here to retrieve him for punitive action. Then we'll be on our way.
Our work is classified beyond your pay grade, Captain. You do know you could be court-martialed just for looking at it.
For looking at what, exactly?
That's irrelevant. You're interfering with the security of the homeland, Captain.
Right now, you're interfering with the security of this base, Doctor, which is my responsibility. Now step aside and let us do our jobs.
What the fuck? Holy shit.
Doctor, where is the sergeant?
You goddamn motherless...
Stand down, soldier. We bring this to the colonel immediately. Caramillo, go to the holding area and consolidate the surviving prisoners into half cells. Alan, escort these men to the empty cells.
I can only imagine what was running through the minds of Maxon and his men when they discovered what they had been guarding. Maxon must have thought Anderson and the other scientists had gone rogue. An unauthorized experiment by mad scientists straight out of a horror show.
Hi, Roger Maxon. Captain, serial number 072389 have started this log because it doesn't look good for any of us. And I'd like for people to know what really happened here. All hell broke loose when we finally discovered what those scientist bastards were up to. The colonel has locked himself in his office and seems to be having some sort of breakdown. The men are screaming for blood. They're looking to me for answers. I'm not sure what to do. Someone has to do something, though, before this place sinks into an anarchistic bloodbath. Every time we get a report from higher up, things get worse here. The war is going in a very bad direction, and this place is about to go into full mutiny with all the chaos that entails. I stopped one of the men from executing a scientist today and demanded that we interrogate them to find out what their orders were.
For the last time, Captain, I know what you saw, but believe me when I say it's not what you think. We could all be brought up on charges of treason if I say more. Does that not bother you? Fine. Let me put it to you this way, Captain. We're working to save the human species. That green goo, as you call it, allows us to seize control of our fate. We can control evolution, direct it to save ourselves in this war. Imagine a world without fear of biological weapons. An American race whose potential is not hampered by flaws, but enhanced by them.
If that's true, then why not have a taste of your own medicine, Doctor? Maybe you'll be enhanced.
No, don't open that.
Why not? It's a cure. If it works, I'll make a toast to your good health and take a shot myself.
It's been unpredictable. We need to eliminate variables until we understand the effects better. Any one of the test subjects could be the key. We'll understand more after we...
After trial and error. With a couple hundred human lives. American lives.
These test subjects. They're suspected fifth columnists. Deserters. Conscientious objectors. Surely you, of all people, can see the debt they owe to men like you. Men who served.
Sure. No sense in letting them serve their time peacefully when they can act as empty chambers in your game of genetic Russian roulette. Who knew about this?
The entire research team, of course. I didn't deceive any...
My men. Who knew?
None of them, of course. We had strict protocols to prevent...
Our superiors. Which of them knew?
This project goes straight up to Washington, the president. I was following orders just like you. I'm a soldier in a sense, a military man.
Liar!
If I die, you and your men will be... Please stop!
Those eggheads got high on their own power and went rogue. I know it, you know it, everyone on this goddamn base knows it. And they've made us complicit.
If I may, I heard everything, Captain. Anderson was scared for his life. I believe what he said. As crazy as it sounds.
Captain Maxon!
Report.
Sir, we have a situation on level 3.
On my way.
How about we tossed you into that goo and watch you squirm? Our orders come from Washington. Bullshit. We have to put him down or else the brass would think we're in on it. He's right.
Put him down!
You're all blind. You think you'll win this war with your guns, but Washington knows it'll only be won with science. We are...
I was only following orders. The excuse used by scientists for their experiments. The solace of Mariposa guards. It was the only thing they could use to defend themselves in the court of their own conscience. No other court would prosecute them.
I tell myself it was to keep him from causing a full mutiny among the men. But I'm not so sure.